Hi, so I'm Gian, and for my mini lecture for chapter 11, my topic is going to be to define and distinguish between the terms performance and learning. So let's start with performance, right? So performance is always going to be our observable behavior. It's how someone performs a skill at a specific time and the specific location that skill is performed. So an example of performance can be seen in, say, like a combat sport, like boxing, right? So how someone would throw a punch in the first few minutes of a fight, for example, would be very different from how someone would throw a punch in the closing seconds of the last round. And this is because of a fighter's fatigue and how well they've been performing in the fight will also determine how motivated they are to have those exchanges with their opponent. And all these factors influence the performance of an athlete and their observable behavior. Learning, on the other hand, is not observable like performance. Instead, it's something that's inferred from performance. How much we think someone might have learned is based on how we interpret the performance of an individual. So basically, we infer how much someone learns based on the improvements within their performance as a result of their practice or their experience. And learning is also relatively permanent because of the cognitive changes that take place in the process of performing and ultimately learning a skill. So, again, performance is an observable behavior, while learning is inferred from performance. And while learning may be relatively permanent, performance is actually considered to be temporary. And this is because performance has so many moving parts to it and can be influenced by a lot of factors like motivation, fatigue, current moods, and more. And to emphasize, learning isn't influenced by these factors since we're talking about the actual change in cognitive ability or how well someone knows or learns something. It's also important to note that performance, like unlike learning, isn't always due to practice. In basketball, for example, right, an NBA player who practices day in and day out to improve their skills or their craft is bound to have an off night every now and then. And in these cases, their performances aren't really representative of the work that they put in during practice. And again, this may be the result of many performance variables like exhaustion or underlying injuries or more. And while learning isn't influenced by these performance variables. So I hope this gives you all a good understanding of performance and learning and just those terms in general. Thank you so much for listening.